What's up, guys? It's me, Sergio.
And I'm Drew.
And we're with Mobility Direct. Today, we're going to show you how a mobility scooter works from start to finish in case you've never owned one before. Maybe you're thinking about buying one for the first time. We've got the Buzzaround Extreme here, one of our best-selling outdoor mobility scooters. Now, keep in mind, this is not an in-depth review. If you want to learn more about this model, we have an in-depth review. We have comparison videos, DIY repair videos. We tear this thing down to the nuts and bolts. We have so many repair videos for it. So check out our YouTube videos if you want to learn more about this product. Today, we're going to talk about how a mobility scooter works in general. Now, if you want to learn about our products in a more traditional sense, we do have a printed catalog with our latest products, discount codes, and a lot more. If you want a copy, go to our website, which is
mobilitydirect.com.
Click on the green button at the top of every page that says free catalog. Fill out the short form that you're seeing on the screen now, and you'll get one in the mail within 1 to 2 weeks tops, or you can just call the number below, speak with our non-commissioned sales experts. They're not pushy. They'll answer any questions that you have, take your address, and get a catalog in the mail for you. Let's dive right into things. Now, I'm going to be filming, doing a little bit of directing. Drew's going to help me demonstrate here how this mobility scooter works from start to finish. Make sure you pay attention, because somewhere in this video, we're going to put a hidden message on the screen. If you spot it, it's going to give you access to an exclusive discount code only available to the first 20 people that spot it. So pay attention, and let's learn something today. Drew,
That's right.
What's the first thing we should talk about here when it comes to teaching someone how a mobility scooter works?
Well, you start from top to bottom, so the highest thing would be the top of this seat.
This is a stadium folding seat, right?
Yes,
so the backrest folds.
The backrest folds down.
And it's a disassembling scooter.
Correct. And
So
the
the seat comes out.
armrests are also adjustable.
The armrests adjust, they flip up.
They're height adjustable and they are width adjustable, and they also flip up.
Yep.
What's neat about the entire seat is that it has a bracket on the back side of it so that you can add an accessory like a rear basket, a crutch holder, oxygen tank holder, and many other different devices.
It's kind of like a hitch on the back of a pickup truck, right?
Absolutely. Just
Yeah.
holds medical devices, and it's a 1-inch receiver.
Don't attach a ball hitch and a boat to it like I did and try to put a boat in a pond. That's not smart, but it is fun, and we did that on our YouTube channel.
Yes, we did.
All right.
Now, don't do that. But anyway, so there's also a lever on this particular mobility scooter that allows you to rotate the seat every 45 degrees. And actually, it rotates a full 360 degrees.
When would that be useful?
For just one thing, down here in South Florida, fishing.
Right.
Simple. Yep.
And at a dinner table?
At a dinner table as well, especially putting the armrests up, you have all the space underneath you. But most people will probably have the scooter like this.
Or
and
90
they'll
degrees.
turn it
Yeah.
just like this.
So that the tiller or the handlebar is not in your way.
Yep. So you just want to make sure that you have your armrest down. You find your armrest and just take a seat into your scooter.
So you use the armrest as support when getting in and out of the chair, right?
Yes, you surely can.
And they're designed for that. They're
Yes.
tested for that.
Yes, they are weight bearing.
But you need to know the weight capacity of your scooter. If you weigh more than 300 pounds and your scooter supports 300 pounds, you shouldn't be using it, period. The armrests probably aren't going to support you because they're not reinforced enough to hold that kind of weight.
Even the seat post. That's what the seat post is rated for too. So, you know, heavier duty scooters have a different seat post, a different style. This is just a single seat post. There are H-frames and heavy duty mobility scooters, but
That's a standard seat post. It is
Yes.
height adjustable. You've got about 2 inches of range to play with. We've got a lot of unboxing and assembly videos to show you all that. But I think it's important to note that. So thank you for sharing all about the seat. But I think that's pretty much it. Obviously, there's different types of seats. Some scooters have full captain seat with a headrest, much wider seat options. You even have a 2-person seat on some scooters so you can take rides with your loved one. But this is what your typical seat looks like. This is what Drew's sitting on. It's called a folding stadium seat.
I also forgot to mention, like, the absolute first thing you do before getting in a mobility scooter is verifying that the scooter was off. I did verify that, but I just forgot to tell you. So
For safety.
make sure that the scooter is always off. Somebody could accidentally hit the throttle while you're going to sit in it, and it could come out from underneath you, and you could land yourself an injury. So safety first. Make sure that the key is out and the scooter is off. So let's go ahead and get ourselves comfy. You know, I'm 5'11". I have a size 11 shoe, and well, I fit pretty comfortable.
Now, that's the Buzzaround Extreme.
Yep.
Rated for up to 350 pounds.
I have an adjustment knob at the base of the tiller that's going to allow me to be comfortable. The tiller was too far, so I'm going to bring it in closer to me. I'm going to lock it in right there. There we go. That's more comfortable for me. I can put my elbows on the armrests.
So you just
Very
brought
relaxed.
the tiller, which is what some people would call the handlebar assembly. The technical term is the tiller. That's where all the controls are, the throttle. And to loosen that, do that one more time, Drew. Loosen up that knob.
This one right here?
Yep. So now he's bringing the scooter's tiller back and forth and then finding that sweet spot and tightening it back up. Most scooters have that type of system where it's a knob. However, some scooters now have a little kickstand where it's like a lever that you kick with your foot. I'm gonna put it on my screen for a second so you can see what I'm talking about. But this is the traditional way. You loosen up that knob, bring the handlebar assembly, the controls closer to you, make it as comfortable as possible. You may also want to think about whether or not the seat has a sliding option to slide forward and back. This one doesn't. However, a lot of scooters do, and you can slide the seat forward and back as well as tilt the tiller closer to you or further away from you to dial in that perfect sweet spot.
So moving on, before we turn on the scooter, we need to understand how the scooter operates. This particular scooter is a Delta tiller scooter, and it is ambidextrous. You can control it with one hand. You can use it with multiple fingers or your thumb. Standard programming is allowing the scooter to go forward by pulling back on the right-hand side, or to go backwards, pushing forward on the throttle. You can do the same thing with back, or you can just do this, control it with two fingers. I'm gonna power it on now and give you a quick demo. So, as you can see, the battery meter has turned on and it is showing a full charge. And right here we have the turtle and the rabbit. So of course this would be the slowest speed, and if we turned out clockwise all the way up, that would be to the fastest. So with that in mind, the scooter works with a potentiometer. So this is your throttle that inside has a potentiometer. It's a spring. So even I can have the scooter on its fastest mode and still make the scooter crawl just by giving it a slight amount of throttle. So see here, I'm not going fast, but if I wanted to, I could just make it take off.
So that throttle lever is sensitive to the pull, right? Even if it's at its fastest setting, like it is, the average speed of mobility scooters is what, about 5 miles per hour, Drew?
Average speed is about 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
Now, you see most of them, though, are going 5 miles per hour, and that's pretty much going to be the limit for safety purposes. For it to be classified as a medical grade scooter, which is what you want, medical grade, class 2 medical devices are going to come with the best warranty support, the best structural integrity. A lot of them even come with a repair plan free of charge to meet that FDA approval. They're just going to have all around better engineering. And 5 miles per hour is not slow.
No.
Okay, I go jogging and I track my speed. I used to go jogging, I don't really anymore, but I would only go like 4 miles per hour, 5 miles per hour at a steady pace. So unless you're gonna go jogging with somebody or sprinting, you don't need to go any faster than that.
Nope, absolutely.
So what else did we talk about here? What are we missing, Drew? Are we missing, like usually on the tiller assembly, you've got a charging port, a horn, right?
We do, we have a little horn.
The charging port.
Yep, the charging port's right here to charge a scooter. It's a standard XLR charger, and it's
like an amplifier cable.
Yeah, it's simple.
Yeah, no wrong way to plug it in, but always use the OEM charger, right?
Absolutely, always. And if you don't know, make sure you open up a user manual where you can find out the manufacturer's specifications for the charger that you need for your scooter.
Now, by the way, folks, a lot of you may not know this, but we are the #1 dealer for parts in the mobility industry. So if you need parts, we'll make sure you get the compatible part for your device. You just need to give us the make, the model, and sometimes the serial number to make sure that we can get you the parts that are compatible at the best prices on our website. Keep that in mind. Now, Drew, you've been a technician for a long time, right? You started this business coming as a technician from another company. I was just a marketing guy. I didn't know. So let me ask you this. I always say, wait till your battery's about halfway or a little bit over halfway depleted on the meter before you charge. Is that good advice?
I mean, you can go down a little bit more than that. I mean, half is a good practice, but if you're only taking it down 20% and you got 80% left, there's no reason to charge if you're going to use it just for the same amount you did for the last couple days.
Now, if you want to learn more about batteries and best practices for charging, we have full videos on that. Keep that in mind. That's not what this video is about. This video is to learn how to use it in case you've never used one before. And I do want to take the time to tell you about our first-time buyer's guide video. This is going to go into all the things you need to know, all the considerations to allow you to make the most educated decision when purchasing a mobility scooter. It's going to tell you all about the technical terms like ground clearance, incline rating. It's going to tell you about the seat sizes and everything you should think about so that you can avoid potentially having to return a scooter that doesn't fit you or your needs. That's really important. Scooters aren't cheap. There are cheap ones out there, but you get what you pay for. If you want something that's backed by a medical equipment engineering company like Golden, they make things right the first time. They include that in-home repair plan and an industry-leading warranty. If you need parts, they're stocked. Golden makes great products. Don't skimp out on a mobility device, okay? This is gonna be, for a lot of people, a source of transportation, maybe your primary source, okay? And you do get what you pay for. We're not here to sell you something you don't need. We're non-commissioned. It doesn't matter if you buy the cheapest scooter we have or the most expensive, as long as it fits your needs and your body type. That's most important.
Yeah. Let's get on to the last part of the mobility scooter and how it works. All mobility scooters have what you call an electromagnetic brake. And what this here is, it's for safety, okay? So in order for the scooter to operate, the brake must be on. And right now it's on. You can see the scooter's not moving. The only way to free up the motor is to control it using this. So the throttle will tell this to unlock and allow the scooter to freely operate. When you release it, it's an automatic brake that turns on and the scooter will come to a stop within a foot.
Simply put, the brakes are always locked.
They're always locked.
Unless you activate the throttle.
Right? You see I have the scooter on. I can operate the scooter, but say if I want to disconnect it, watch what's gonna happen.
So how are you gonna disconnect it?
With this little lever, I'm just gonna press up.
So let me look at the stickers here, show the viewers.
It says up is in neutral and down is in the lock position.
So you need the brakes locked to use the scooter.
So we're gonna hit it in neutral and watch what happens. That is a 5 beep code, which tells us that the brakes have been turned off. And we need to make sure that they're turned on in order to safely operate our mobility scooter, because safety is first.
And what that is there for, guys, if you don't know, hypothetically, let's say you run out of battery on a hill, and at the bottom of the hill, there's an alligator crocodile infested pond with bull sharks, okay? You're gonna roll down that hill and get eaten by sharks and gators and crocodiles and stingrays. So the brakes are there basically to prevent anyone from catastrophic death and or injury when they run out of batteries on a hill. That's not the only thing. And obviously that's not really true. But if those brakes weren't there and grandma ran out of batteries on a hill, they'd end up in the drainage ditch with a broken neck. So yes, magnetic brakes are there for safety. The only time you should ever turn the brake system off or put it in neutral mode is when, Drew?
When you're moving it.
And your batteries are dead.
Yeah, your batteries are dead and you just gotta move it around. If you don't have the key and you just wanna get it out the way.
That's it. Like for example, if you're on an airplane, right? The airplane handlers may just want to push it out of the way and not ride the scooter just because, you know, it's not their scooter. They're going to put it in neutral mode. A lot of them are trained on how to do that, and they're going to push it out into the area where they store strollers and scooters. Hey, by the way, Drew, didn't you actually take a scooter with you on an airplane ride to show users and empower users how to travel with a mobility scooter on an airplane?
Yeah, I have. I've done it a couple times, and it's pretty neat, and I would strongly advise that you watch that video, because from start to finish, I showed you how to travel with a mobility scooter from the time you get to the gate to the time you get off the plane.
He got cavity searched by the TSA agent. Pretty cool. So make sure you check that video out. We're going to put the link in the top right-hand corner of the screen and in the description. It's a great video. All right, folks. So I think you've learned how a mobility scooter works. However, if you're still not sure, if you have questions, leave a comment below. We will reply to comments within 1 business day. We also have a forum on our website. You can register, post a technical question. Maybe you have a scooter, it's not turning on, it's not working. Ask a technician. Go to our forum, mobilitydirect.com. Click on the button at the top of the page that says forum, register, post a question, upload a picture, put videos, explain your situation, see what's going on. We'll help you figure it out. And if you're a customer, we provide lifetime customer support. Even if you're not a customer though, we'd love to hear from you and help you out. So seriously, check out our other videos. You're gonna learn a ton about mobility products, not just boring product review videos, educational videos, entertainment videos. And did you know that we give back to the disabled community all the time? We give away mobility scooters to homeless people, veterans, people that just can't afford one and they're struggling to get around with a cane or a walker, and we have the cameras rolling. So check those videos out. We have a whole playlist, and I'll put it in a link in the description. Just make sure you grab a tissue, because those videos are real tearjerkers.
Sure.
We love doing it, and if you want to be a part of that movement, all you have to do is shop at Mobility Direct. Like I said, part of every sale goes towards that next giveaway. Or they can share the video on their Facebook, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. And if you really want to help the cause, consider signing up as a paid member to our YouTube channel. It costs a few bucks a month, and it's going to really help our channel grow. Just remember, the more we grow, the more we can give back. And your viewership means the world to us. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, everybody, I'm Sergio.
And I'm Drew.
And we're with Mobility Direct. See you in the next video.